Welcome back, everyone. I'm the Bad Luck Gamer, and today we have a bit of another hidden gem of an archetype. One of the many reasons why I love doing this series is because I find archetypes that, while at first appearance might not look that great, or their name is just not very interesting, now that I take a deeper look, I find that there's a lot of really good archetypes out there. And today is no exception. But before we get into that, I want to give a spoiler warning, even though I don't think it really mentions anything from the module itself. But if you are going through the Fists of the Ruby Phoenix module, and more specifically, this is from the second book, I don't remember, Despair on Danger Island. So whatever book that is in the series, spoilers. But since we've gone through that, let's go ahead and get to the dedication. So today we're talking about the Ghost Eater dedication, and by far a very interesting one. Now, Ghost Eater is a very interesting concept. There is the concept in many cultures of ones who eat the sins of ghosts to help them pass on. In fact, White Wolf made a whole game around the concept called Geist, which is a really good game. But this one is about fighting ghosts and I potentially eating them. I don't know. It's technically possible. But let's look at the dedication itself. You need to be trained in occultism or religion, and what this dedication does is it makes your strikes, your unarmed and weapon strikes, magical, and if it's against a incorporeal creature specifically, it gets the benefit of the Ghost Touch weapon property rune, which is really solid and really good, because essentially the Ghost Touch property rune is one of those free runes that are given out like all over the place, and it's the properties of, it's not actually imprinting that rune onto your weapon, so you get this effect essentially on top of whatever weapon runes you already have, which is really solid. And for a base archetype, this is a really good dedication. While most dedications give you like a trained proficiency and maybe a cool new skill, getting magic effect on your weapons and unarmed strikes is a very solid feature, and then getting the effects of the Ghost Touch property rune when only affecting incorporeal creatures, which is something important to note here, as it doesn't allow you to detect anything incorporeal if it's some kind of object or whatever. That's important to mention. Still, a incredibly solid dedication, and it just gets better. Next up is Reach Beyond. It's a level 4 feat and a very solid one, though incredibly niche. I would say this would probably be more of a pass, but if you're trying to get through the dedication quickly to pick up another one, you're going to have to take it, unfortunately. Regardless, it's very helpful. So Reach Beyond, what it does is it allows you to strike a incorporeal creature inside of a solid object as long as it's within reach. So if it's in a wall, as long as that wall is essentially within your range of reach, so 5 feet or 10 feet if you have a reach weapon, you can strike the undead by projecting your life force through and attacking with it in the form of your weapon, which is very cool and very kind of anime, and it gets more anime as we go on. But how this feature more or less works is when you're striking a incorporeal creature in this way, you treat the incorporeal creature as being hidden, meaning you need to make a DC 11 flat check. But you can add an action to concentrate on the creature, lowering that DC by 5, making it a DC 6, which is substantially easier to hit, though still giving you some room for error. All in all, really good, but incredibly niche and probably won't happen that often, but given the right campaign, this might be an absolute must-take feat. This 6th level feat is nuts. Disrupting Strikes is just a very good feat, and honestly something that I'm surprised has not made a reappearance since this module, since this was what, the 2nd or 3rd module to come out for 2nd edition. But what it does is, for a singular action, you give your weapon the effects of the Disrupting rune. And at level 14, it becomes the Greater Disrupting rune, and even better than that, for the critical effects or the effects of the Disrupting rune, they use your class DC or spell DC, whichever is higher. And this is one of the few situations where I actually don't mind that the spellcasters kind of get it a little bit easier because it's, well, a disrupting rune that you put on a weapon. So they're already having a harder time hitting with a weapon, meaning that at least having a better chance for the disrupting runes effect, which is allowing you to enfeeble a undead that you hit on a critical strike. Honestly, overall, they're less likely to critically strike anyway, so it's actually a pretty much net gain for marshals. But, you know, spellcasters, if they are using a weapon, could get some better effects if they manage to land a crit, which with spells like True Strike is not actually that unlikely. Overall, this is really good. I know Magus got a focus spell that pretty much allowed them to do this. But the fact that you can just do this on any turn, whatever, it's just for an action, you just boost your weapon, is really good. I really wish more feats would come out that would do something like this. Yes, sure, you have to use an action every time you want to get the benefits of the rune, but one, gives you the effect. It's not, again, it doesn't suppress any runes on your weapon or anything like that. And it gives you something to do with that third action, especially if you're a character who hasn't, you know, skilled out in any, like, athletics or deception type skills. I mean, this is just a really, really good effect that you can add in between strikes, or as, you know, so you're not doing just a third strike in a round that's likely to miss. This is actually something that's really good. I really, really like this dedication, actually. Now, we have one more feat, and it is super anime, and it's a really, really good feat. But before we get to that, I want to let you all know that, hey, subscribe to the channel, like this video, comment, all that YouTuber stuff, haha. But really, it does help a lot. We're getting close to our 3,000 sub goal for before June, and then Rage of Elements come out, and we're going to have a big fiesta around that. So if you want to join that fun, please subscribe. And you can also join our Discord linked down below. But on to this last feat here. So the last feat is called Cross the Threshold, a really, really good feat. And what it does is it gives it, well, one, you can't pick it up until level 16. So essentially, if you are using this as a bonus archetype, you have to select all the prior feats, and then you have to pick something else until level 16. Yeah, level 16, which is a long time to wait, but it's a really good effect because what it does is once per day you get the effects of Ethereal Jaunt, but you no longer need to sustain the spell. It can last for 10 minutes, and you can dismiss it as a free action, which is nuts. What this allows you to do is for 2 actions, you use Ethereal Jaunt, and we'll pull that up here. So while you're in Ethereal Jaunt, you can move through objects, you can go up, down. You move at half your speed, but if you're a class that has a lot of speed boosts, that can be relatively nothing. And with some speed boosting items, there's a lot of ways that you can use this freely. But the best part about this is the fact that you can end it as a free action, which means you can strike an enemy, you Ethereal Jaunt, so you just disappear. They can't affect you, they can't see you, you're not invisible, you're just not on the same dimension. And then next turn, you can move into whatever position you want. You can engage with another enemy. Granted, you can't see them, so you have to hope they were where they were when where you left off. But you move, free action, you're back. You got 2 actions to do whatever else. Do a power strike, anything. This is such a cool maneuver to do in combat. Granted, you can only do this once per day, but isn't it just sick? You're there and then you're gone. And then in a moment's notice, you've popped up and you are already striking someone and they have no idea that you're even there. It's just really, really solid, and I absolutely love this feat. And with the other feats kind of mentioned along here in this video, Ghost Eater is a surprisingly really good archetype. a very solid mix into your character kit, especially if you're playing a Monster Hunter style character, because you get magic attacks from it, which is just good in general against a lot of magical beasts and other kinds of creatures as well. You can handle incorporeal creatures very, very well. And then at the end, you just get this really cool blink out, blink in style ability that just makes your character seem really, really cool. So if you like anime, or if you just want a sick Phantom S style character, heck, you put this on like a assassin style character if you want. Just bam, going ethereal jaunt, sneak into a place, and then hope you're in the right place, pop in, stab a person. You can be the perfect like incorporeal assassin, or like dimensional assassin. It's all really, really cool. But that's gonna be it from me. I hope y'all liked this video. I very much like this archetype in general, and I hope more people get eyes on it because I think it is very solid. Anyway, good luck with your games, leave the bad luck to me, and I'll see y'all next time. Bye.